Hi everyone, this is Mindy and welcome back to another lawn fawn video. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a card where I'm stretching my stamps. I am taking Valentine themed stamps and turning it into a Christmas card. I'm going to start off by stamping all of the images that I have planned for my card, including the skunks from Scent with Love, Special Delivery, which has the hat, the mail bag, and some envelopes. I also brought in some additional envelopes from Love Letters stamp set, and then the trees are from Winter Skies. So I stamped all of these images onto white 80-pound cardstock with Lawn Fawn's jet black ink, and then I'm going to color most of them with Copic markers. I'm starting with my skunks and I'm going to color them in a light gray. So I have N6, N4, and N2. And I may have colored the tail wrong. I don't know if the white's supposed to be on the top or the bottom, but I think it looks super cute either way. So then I went in and added R21 for the nose and the ears on all of the skunks and on the hearts. I didn't add any additional shading because it is a really small area. And for the white on the skunk, you can either leave it just white, or I came in with a BG quadruple zero, I believe it was, just something that's a really, really light blue and just added a little bit of shading to it. Now, since I'm going for a Christmas themed card, I am going to color my envelopes in red and green colors. So for this one, I had YG09, 07, and 03. Now here I'm trying something new. These are the Tombow ABT Pro alcohol markers. This came in a 4-pack. There were 4 red tones in here, and this is labeled the red tones. Honestly, I'm not familiar at all with the Tombow alcohol markers, but I was really intrigued by them and wanted to give them a try. So just looking at other options if you don't have Copics. And I have to say, I really did like using them. They have a super, super fine point on them, which I found very helpful for getting in those small areas of the stamps. I also found that they blend fairly well. So I was really happy with how all of these turned out, and I think I might look into getting a few more just to test this out. Now for my trees, I really wanted to try a different color combination, and I was very hesitant with this. I am starting with G29, then I came in with BG49, and it was either BG15 or BG23. And I really, really hesitated after that first tree. I looked at it, I thought, wow, that's really blue, but I just kept with it. I kept going. I wanted to see how this all played out. And I just brought in a little bit of brown for the base of the tree. So after everything is all colored in, I'm just going to take the coordinating dies, line them up over all of the images, hold them in place with a low tack tape, and then run these through my die cut machine, and I'm going to set them off on the side to work on the rest of my card. So starting with my mailbox, this is Happy Mail, and I die cut that from Fog Cardstock. I have the flag of the mailbox from Chili Pepper, and then the pole for my mailbox out of woodgrain cardstock. I have the mini wreath that I cut twice from Cilantro cardstock and the little bow from Ballet Slippers. Now I needed some snow hills, so I have these stitched hillside borders that I'm cutting from white 80-pound cardstock. After I cut my first piece, I line it up next to my scratch piece of cardstock here so I can bring my second hill in and have it be just a little bit bigger than my first one so they can stack together nicely. For my background, I am starting with ink blending cracked pistachio, and I'm only about halfway up the cardstock because my snowy hills will be towards the bottom. Now this is 80-pound white cardstock once again, and now I'm bringing in peacock feathers starting from the top and blending into the cracked pistachio, and I will kind of go back and forth between the colors to just kind of help smooth out that transition a little bit. Once that's all blended, I'm going to take the Snowfall Backdrop die and I'm going to line it up with my panel. I'm going to hold my cardstock to that backdrop die with some tape just so it doesn't shift around, and it's going to cut it perfectly at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is the size of my panel here. So now I have my background done, I can start partially assembling my card. This backdrop panel I am going to add to a white piece of cardstock, so it's going to look like white snowfall in the background, and I'm just adding that with a tape runner. And then I'm going to add just one of my snowy hills. I wanted the one that's going to be in the front. I want that to have my sentiment, so I don't want to attach that yet. And then I can come in and start working on the background, which is the trees. And I have to say, I was really happy I stuck with that color combination because I think it looks great with that ink blended background that I did. Now off screen, I did color that owl and add it in because it worked so much better to have him with that mail pouch and hat. And I needed something to fill the corner on my card front once I was kind of laying things down in place. So I did color that owl off screen. Now here's my mailbox. It does have some embossed lines on there when you die cut it. So I'm just folding along those lines and I'm going to reinforce that fold with my bone folder. So it's going to fold up and it really gives this mailbox a lot of dimension. And you can also tuck your envelopes inside of it, which I thought was just really super cute. So I did add a little bit of glue to attach my flag to my mailbox, and I just kind of have that tilted up a little bit. And then I'm adding my wreath with the liquid glue, and I can come in and add the bow right on the top. I do have a little tail that I need to add first, and then I can add my little bow. So I'm at the point right now where I need to have my sentiment because I'm ready for this hill. So I'm just using the sentiment special delivery off of the special delivery stamp set. I lined that up onto my snowy hill and I'm going to stamp this in jet black ink or black licorice ink would work too. So once I gave that a minute or two to dry, I'm adding that to the front of my card with a tape runner and then I can add in my mailbox. Then I'm going to just slowly start adding in the rest of my critters and elements. I did go ahead and tuck one of the big envelopes inside that mailbox, and I wanted some of the skunks to be holding letters too. I have one of them down towards the bottom there. This other one I'm going to have kind of getting mail out of the mailbox, and my owl and a couple of the other skunks I did add foam squares to. As long as nothing was going to be on top of it, I was adding foam squares to it just to give this a little dimension. I love that little skunk at the very top that has his happy mail. My owl up in the top corner there. That's where I knew where I wanted the skunks to be, so they were lined up, but I had that empty hole in the top, which is why I came in and added that owl. Now that I have everything glued down and in place, I came in with a white Jelly Roll pen and I'm just adding some small details and highlights to my critters and to the wreath. So I came in and just added some dots to the wreath to kind of give it a look of berries. And then I'm adding little highlight areas to the skunk and also the flag on my mailbox. Just kind of some little areas. I didn't want to overdo it. I just wanted to add a little touch of those highlights. And then that will finish off my card. So I really enjoyed taking these Valentine themed stamp sets and turning them into a Christmas card. Or you could do this with a birthday, just switch up your background and your colors a little bit. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has given you some ideas and I will see you again soon.